So where exactly were you when the fire started?
I was alone!
No, you weren't. Because Warner was in there and so was Shelley, and they didn't see you.
But they're lying!
I don't think so. You were also heard to say the only way this plan's going to work was your way.
I'll get you for that, you bitch! Hang on, B, you've only got suspicions, no definite proof.
Enough to go on, Margot. Now give me the rest. Aren't you, Margot? Now come on, Margot. What's your side of the story?
Oh! I'm all right. It's enough.
Well?
Okay.
Come on.
Okay, I'll leave the other part, but I was only doing what you wanted, a diversion.
I was making the diversion. You knew that.
What piddling little fire in the library wasn't going to be enough. It had to be something big.
And what about Mouse and Barbara, you bloody bitch?
God, lucky. It could have been any of us.
You dob us into the cops to save your own rotten neck.
I didn't tell them anything. Well, who did then? I didn't know they worked it out for themselves.
It's a likely bloody story. Well, we're not going to do an extra stretch to protect you. You are going to the screws to admit you lit that fire, or I'm going to bash your bloody brains in.
You do what you like. You do what you like. I'm not admitting nothing. But if you dob me in, you will be, and you just see how the other women take that.
How did the homework go?
Well, but from now on, it's going to take teamwork. If we're going to get any further, then I'll need answers.
Well, like I said before, just as long as you don't expect me to lag.
No need for that now. I'm more interested in one of the women who died in the fire. A Miss Fields.
Barbara? What about her?
They found her in the governor's office. You got any idea why she'd be in there?
Yeah, I think so. She had something on one of the screws. Ferguson, the one I attacked.
Did she? What sort of thing?
Diaries written by Ferguson herself. Pretty damning stuff, or so Barbara reckoned. Poor bitch was probably trying to stop him going up in smoke when she copped it.
Good. I've been looking for something like that.
Well, how's that going to help me?
All part of the plan.
You're not going to blame the fire on Barbara.
No, nothing like that. I'm not particularly interested in the person who started the big one anymore.
Why not? I thought that was the basis
Because
of
I'm
our...
changing direction. Ever wonder why the fire spread so far so quickly?
Well, there was a bloody Molotov cocktail, wasn't there?
It was more than that. It was thrown in a storeroom, and the storeroom had several cartons of terps sitting there.
Bloody hell.
Now, one of the officers must have authorised them to be there.
And the screws are more to blame than anyone.
Partly to blame, anyway.
Those women died because of some careless bloody screw. Bastards! Well, no wonder they're so anxious to pin it on Chrissy and me.
Right.
Well, you've got to get word out to the papers and...
Hang on. You can't go off half-cocked.
Our necks are on the line.
I haven't exactly got a signed confession, you know.
Well, what do you expect us to do? Sit around and forget about it?
Of course not. I think I've come up with a better way of exposing this.
Smith and Latham, you're wanted in reception.
What for?
Get to reception, you'll find out.
Ladies, don't do too much of anything we'd enjoy, will you?
Hey! Due to various questions being raised, Mr. Steele thinks that an informal discussion on the fire is in order.
I don't think my client should have been charged with arson and murder.
The police have statements.
And I have a couple of interesting facts. The fire spread so rapidly because it came in contact with terps, which was left in an electrical storeroom, quite against regulations, I believe.
It has nothing to do with it. If one of the women hadn't thrown that Molotov cocktail, the whole thing wouldn't have happened.
Oh, I agree. But it is against regulations, you must admit. Now, as Deputy Governor, was it your decision to have it stored there?
Well, it wasn't...
I won't have my officers cross-examined like this.
Whatever you say. But what we have, you must agree, is purely circumstantial evidence against my clients.
Oh, well, in fairness to Mr. Douglas, you must remember that Smith admitted to assaulting an officer and Latham lit a fire as a diversion.
I was just coming to that. Tell us about that part of it. How on earth did you get Officer Ferguson to isolation?
She was after her diaries.
Which you said were in isolation?
Yeah, that's right. She was desperate to get them back. Barbara had stolen them. Apparently they made very interesting reading. All about bribery and corruption.
For heaven's sake, the woman's obviously telling a pack of lies.
Really? And where had Miss Fields actually hidden the diaries?
In the governor's office. She was probably trying to get
Have
them
you
back.
produced these diaries?
Well, of course not. They've been burnt, along with Barbara.
Well, then I don't see how
Any other reason why Fields would have been found in the governor's office when she died?
Well, no, but
There are a lot of buts in this case, Mr. Douglas, and a lot of issues that I intend to raise if my clients are charged.
Are you attempting to blackmail the department?
Only see that justice is done. Let's face it, if all this is made public, nobody is going to look good. So I suggest we come to some sort of agreement, for everyone's sake.
I've been thinking. This deal, do you think the screws are going to buy it?
Well, that's worth a try. Look, they'd been the poo with the newspapers, right? That fire was big news. I reckon they'll avoid bad publicity at all costs.
Just a bit worried, that's all.
Oh, come on, Chrissy. What have we got to lose?
Well, you might have given up all hope of getting out of here, but I haven't.
Well, the Minister has authorised me to read to this meeting the result of the inquiry into the fire at Wentworth. This statement will be released to the press later this afternoon. Having examined all evidence closely, we find that the fire at Wentworth Detention Centre was deliberately and criminally lit. Inquiries have revealed that one of the victims of the fire, Barbara Louise Fields, was involved in a conspiracy to steal confidential documents from the administration block, and that the other victim, Heather Raylene Trapp, started the fire as a diversion. Trapp used a homemade firebomb and apparently had no idea how lethally volatile the device was. Both Fields and Trapp died in the resulting fire. This conspiracy had been timed to coincide with a planned assault on one of the prison officers by another inmate, Beatrice Ellis Smith. Separate charges will be following for this assault, which had no bearing on the cause of the fire. Smith will be charged with assaulting an officer and conspiring to destroy prison property, and Latham with willful destruction of prison property. Their cases will be heard by the visiting justice on his next round.
And poor Mouse is the bunny again. Hey, come on, you lot. You'll never be finished in time for the party.
Excuse me, where have you been? We've been working.
Well, we've been to see the governor, and they've decided who started the fire.
Who be?
Mouse and Barbara.
Rubbish. Mouse couldn't even strike a match without being showed how.
Yeah, well, that's what the cops had come up with. It was the only way they could explain Barbara being in the Gov's office.
I reckon Mouse started to cover for Barbara being in there.
Doesn't make sense. It's stupid.
Well, we're not going to argue with it, are we, Lizzie? It gets B and me off the hook.
And poor old Mouse gets another black mark against her, even if she is 6 foot under.
Mouse wouldn't bother about that. She didn't even have any family to worry about her. And she'd be happy to think that she got you off another charge, B.
Yeah, I suppose. Oh, one more thing. I reckon we should make the Savo's party a wake for Mouse and Barbara.
Yeah, bloody oath. Good idea. We'll give her a true blue send-off.
What's up, B? You don't seem too happy about us winning.
Not out of the woods yet. Still, it was nice to have the department by the short and curlies for once. I just don't like the idea of Mouse copping the blame for it, that's all. I know she could be a pain in the neck, but it still leaves a nasty taste in my mouth.
Look, she's dead, isn't she? And like Lizzie said, she would have been pleased she was helping us out.
Yeah, I guess. But if I hadn't been so keen on getting the freak, Mouse might still be alive.
B. It was an accident. If Mouse had stuck with Paddy, she would have got out. Same with Barbara. She could have got out with the rest of them if she hadn't gone running off to the Gov's office. You can't blame yourself, love. Bleeding Margot's got more to feel guilty about.
Yeah, I suppose. At least we got rid of the freak.
Come on, it's party time. Let's go and give absent friends a good send-off, eh?
Yeah, okay. Eat, drink, and be merry. We're all used to seeing faces come and go in here. Women come in, you make friends with them, and then they leave. Some come back, some don't. Barbara wasn't in here very long, and she didn't make too many friends. But no one deserves the rotten deal she got. As for Mouse, she's a bloody nuisance most of the time, wasn't she? Always poking her nose in where it wasn't wanted. And under your feet. But she was one of us. And...
Yeah, well, here's to Mouse and Barbara. God send.
Thanks, Chrissy.
I told you, love. You got nothing to feel guilty about.
Oh, come on, you lot. It's supposed to be a party, isn't it? I'll make with the party.
When you got nothing my way. Are you ready? Oh! Now that was my fault.
Yeah, better, wouldn't it?
Please, don't let me interrupt. I'm inclined to do a bit of celebrating myself. After all, we've been through a lot together, haven't we?
I should have killed you when I had the chance.
Come now. Is that any way to speak to someone who saved your life?
I just left her lying there. I staggered out to the corridor because I'd been pretty badly beaten. She came after me again. I don't remember much about what happened after that. Well, Paddy told you how we got out, but I couldn't possibly have pushed Ferguson off that ladder deliberately. I could barely hang on myself by then. I was too weak.
Your Worship, you've heard my client tell of the inhuman treatment Officer Ferguson has meted out to the women since her arrival at Wentworth. The diaries that Barbara Fields had hidden were this villainous woman's record of her own cruelty and corruption. It's most unfortunate they were lost in the fire, but we can call witnesses who will testify to their existence and who were victims of this villainous woman.
Has anyone actually seen these books?
Only Barbara, sir. But from what she told us about them, they tally with what we already knew about the freak.
I gather you mean Officer Ferguson.
Yes, sir.
This whole business about the diaries is irrelevant, if indeed they ever existed. They are certainly lost to us now. And the only person who's ever seen them is dead. As for these witnesses you wish to call, I assume they're all inmates.
Yes, sir, they are.
Then by your own admission, they're subject to Miss Ferguson's authority and can hardly be considered impartial. Besides, all the evidence they can hope to bring to this inquiry can only promote Miss Ferguson's assertion that the prisoners are in collusion against her.
The screws know about her too, sir.
Really? Officer Ferguson has an impeccable record with the corrective services, both here and interstate. You've also heard the Governor and the Deputy Governor testify that despite occasional complaints, there has been no proof whatsoever of Miss Ferguson's alleged corruption. Well, I'm afraid you simply haven't got a leg to stand on.
Smith's hearing's still on.
I know.
What is the reason for this interruption, Mrs. Morris?
I want to testify in Smith's defence.
I thought you said none of the officers had anything to add to this inquiry.
Mrs. Davidson doesn't know anything about this. I've only just decided to come forward myself. You see, I was a prisoner here for a while. I know how Officer Ferguson conducts herself when she thinks no one's looking.
She told him everything.
everything?
Everything she knew, bless her little cotton socks.
So you got off?
Oh, not really. She couldn't prove anything. It was only hearsay, but her being a screw made all the difference.
So what did you get?
18 months for assault and 6 months for willful damage.
Oh, that sounds like an awful lot,
Not
Bea.
really. The VJ made it concurrent with the sentence I'm serving now, so it's no extra time at all, really. Does affect my parole, of course, but for a minute there I thought they were going to throw away the key. So I wouldn't panic if I were you, Chrissy. Could have been a hell of a lot worse.
You showed me this statement that I made at the police station.
A record of interview?
Yeah. It's got me name at the bottom of it, but it's full of stuff I never said. They got down that I said I'd gone to Perth and committed the robbery.
Now, come on, steady on, love.
Bea, I wouldn't have said that, no matter how smashed I was.
You've been verbal, Hazel. The only way you're going to get out of this is to come clean and tell them where you got the money.
I can't. If she found
Look,
out...
stop messing around. Where did you get it?
I nicked it, but not from the bank.
Do you know who did?
Yeah, somewhere at the halfway house, right?
I can't tell you, Bea, so don't
Forget
make
it.
me.
I know already. Carter? I've got a bone to pick with you.
Such as?
Such as Hazel doing time for a crime you committed.
Says who?
Says me.
You're barking up the wrong tree. If she didn't do it, she's got nothing to worry about. But don't try pinning it on me.
Cops have verbaled her and she could do a long stretch.
Tough. Them's the breaks.
Don't be so cocky, Carter. The cops are after you, not Hazel.
Like I told you before, I don't know what you're talking about. If you've got any proof, you'd better produce it. But get off my back.
I haven't. Not yet. But I'll get it.
And then what?
You'll be the first to know when it happens.
I told Davo the whole story.
Well, damn you! What's going to happen to me now?
You lagged to the governor? I told the truth.
It's still lagging, though.
Well, what could I do?
I'll give you one thing, Patty. You've got guts. By God, you're going to need them. No matter how much you dislike the system, there is no excuse for lagging. Not ever.
Someone to see you, Smith.
Oh, I hope he's big and butch and handsome.
Well, you got 2 out of the 3, right? Good going. Don't take all day, you two. I've got more to do than play nursemaid.
She has all the charm of a barracuda.
Listen, how's Hazel coping? I'm worried sick about her.
She's in a pretty bad way. She's not coping with being off the booze. And now it seems the cops have verbaled her for that robbery.
Oh, no. She didn't do it, Bea.
No, we've got a pretty good idea who did that, haven't we?
Yeah, Jean Carter. You know, the 2 of them were sharing a room together at the house.
And Hazel could have taken the dough from Carter.
What do you mean, could have? Of course Hazel took it. Carter's screaming blue murder till I suggested to ring the police. Then she went cold on the idea.
That figures.
Yes, but how are we going to prove it?
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Oh, I don't reckon that Nola's much chop.
It's about time I sorted this out.
I mean, for a woman who'd murder her own husband, well, what more would you expect?
Thanks very much.
Oh, God, I didn't mean you, Bea.
I want a word with you. Rack off.
You're on our territory now.
Who are you kidding? The screws run this circus and you jump when they whistle.
Don't let the little point system fool you. What I say goes.
And what are you saying?
Lay off Hazel.
She pinched my role, and it's none of your damn business.
She is one of us, and I am making it my business.
Big deal. And keep your dirty paws off me.
Go on, Bea. Teach the bitch a lesson.
Oh, why bother? She'll be leaving us soon. And where she's going, it's really good riddance.
You'd like that, wouldn't you? You and your screw mates. Well, forget it, because I'm not going anywhere.
Oh? Why not?
You can read all about it on the front page.
The screws cut that out.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Do you know what they cut out?
I know.
What was that all about, Bea?
I'm not sure. Where's Patty?
Probably in her dorm.
No, just look there.
That poor kid probably want to be by herself for a bit. Maybe she's still in the loo.
What are you grinning at?
Nothing. Oh, leave me alone, will you?
I asked you a question.
Oh, what is this? Do I have to go around sour face like the rest of you no-hopers?
Don't you call me names, you smart alecky trollop.
Where's Nola?
How would I know?
Is she after Paddy?
Ah! She might be.
Damn. Oh, I'll come with you.
She said she was going to the loo. I'll check there.
You go look at yourselves.
You in there?
Murder. Premeditated. It's like you're stuck with me now.
She was a pushover.
Bitch!
What's going on in here? Oh, my God. Come on, Smith. Here comes here. Coming at you, too. She's mad. She's killed Patty. Oh, my God. Mrs. Ward, quickly. Right. Keep an eye on these two. Just keep them apart.
I wonder if she knew she was doing me a favour.
Listen, let's not have any trouble, huh?
About time, too. I've been in here all on me own.
Thanks very
Oh,
much.
you know what I mean. Then Mrs. M comes in and tells us that Chrissy's been Shanghai.
Paddy's dead.
No one tells me anything anymore. You clear out. Nola's disappeared. Paddy's gone.
Paddy's
no one
dead.
To talk to. Oh, what are you on about?
She's dead. Did you hear me, Lizzie? Patty's dead.
Oh, God. No. Oh, poor little mate.
Was it?
Oh. She just walked into it in the shower blocker.
Why, Bea? She'd already bashed a flagon. Why, Bea? Why?
Oh, no reason. Except to save her own rotten neck. It could have been anyone. You, or Trixie, or even me.
Oh, what's happening in here, Bea? What's happening?
Jeez, so she's really done it. Do you think she'd have the guts?
What do you know about this? If you're in that bitch's plan.
I'm not honest. Well, she told me if she killed someone here, they couldn't take her back to hang. She said Hazel was first choice, but Hazel's gone. I thought it was just talk. I didn't think she'd have the nerve to follow through.
You've got any idea what it must be like to have your lungs fill up with water until they burst?
No.
Well, she's pretty good with kids. But let's see how she goes when she's got to face up to me.
Come on, Bea. You gotta eat something, love.
Oh, what's the point? Couldn't taste it anyway.
It's more than you can say for that bloody mongrel Mackenzie. She's gonna taste hers, all right.
What have you been up to?
Just a quick dash of dishwashing liquid into her porridge. Should give it a lovely lemon flavour, don't you reckon?
Pity it wasn't cyanide.
No. Too quick.
You're right. I want something long and lingering for that bitch.
I have tried to be fair to you. That is why I introduced the point system. But you undermined it all with a ridiculous system of your own.
That stupid damn point system was doomed to failure from the start. It was open slather for certain officers to dock points off us if we forgot to curtsy when they came into the room. You talk about give and take, Mrs. Davidson. Well, so far it's Miss Ferguson that's been doing all of the taking. You get rid of her, not Mrs. Mike.
I will not have prisoners dictating to me which officers I will employ.
Then you'll have to find another solution. Because the women are not backing down.
What's the matter, Bea?
What do you think?
Yeah, I know. Keep trying to think of the last thing she said to me, but I can't. Rotten, isn't it?
Yeah, real rotten.
Yeah, well, doesn't look like Mackenzie's got much of a future either way.
Mackenzie's been rostered in the laundry, Smith. Find something for her to do.
So, they let you out.
Yeah.
Jacko, little corridor. I'm surprised you had the nerve to come back in here after what you had. One more lousy day and she would have been out of here if it hadn't been for you. I've got no fight with you, Smith. Oh, like hell you haven't.
Hey! Get your what the fuck? Let us is mine!
Go ahead, Smith. What are you waiting for? There's a spare cell in solitary.
Yeah, but B didn't start it, Miss Ferguson. Nola kicked her right in the gut.
Oh, I wouldn't say that, Daniels. I'd have seen it if she did. I've been standing outside all the time and I never saw a thing. Go ahead, Smith. Don't let me stop you.
That seat is taken. I said it's taken.
I heard you.
Then rat off.
Look, let's get this straight. I've got no fight with you or any of the women in here. I just want to be left alone to serve out my time with no hassles.
And that's all Paddy wanted, but you put Paddy to that, didn't you?
Well, what do you want me to do? Say I'm sorry? She just happened to walk in at the wrong time. I wasn't after her particularly. I just want a life sentence instead of the death sentence they've got waiting for me in WA.
We've got one waiting for you right here.
Look, don't bother coming the heavy with me. You're the least of my worries at this moment.
See, pal.
I want a word. Okay. Now, look, I'm warning you. I'm watching every move, so don't you try anything with Mackenzie.
Gee, Mrs. Powell. What with you keeping an eye on her and Ferguson keeping her on a leash, she's leading a charmed life. You have been mine ever since you killed Paddy. All mine.
Just visiting, are we, Smith?
Something like that.
Well, why don't you go and do it somewhere else? Now.
Now, that was stupid. Real stupid.
You rotten mongrel. What do you want to go and do that to little Maxie for? She never did you any harm.
But she tried. And nobody does that to me.
Well, I won't try, Mackenzie. When I finish with you, you'll be begging to be sent back to Western Australia.
So you keep saying. Look, what have I got to do to get you going, Queenie? I killed one of your mates, bashed 4 of the others. What's stopping you now?
Screws.
You lead a charmed life, don't you? But don't worry. It will happen.
Everything all right, ladies?
Oh, fine, Mrs. Powell. Just asking Nola what Western Australia was like.
Surprised at you, Smith. Thought Lawson was a friend of yours.
Meaning?
Mind you, I'm not complaining. I always said that this place would be a lot more peaceful when someone got the better of you. Looks like Mackenzie's done just that. Still, I would have thought you'd have done something about her by now.
Well, don't cancel your bets, because the race is still on. You know what I've been through, Jude? Every time anyone mentions Paddy's name, she laughs. Bitch just laughs.
Well, let her laugh. I mean, she's copped a lifetime in the slammer. Isn't that enough?
I'm going to kill her, Jude. I have to.
And what's that going to prove? Okay, Paddy was a nice kid, but do you think she would have wanted you to cop an additional 10 years for something that's not going to change a damn thing?
Oh, yes, it will. Get rid of her for a start.
It won't change a damn thing. You're talking to me, remember? I'm the one that busted a gut trying to kill Jock Stewart. Well, thank God I didn't. Because I'm out now, B. Out's beautiful. There are lots of Nola Mackenzies in the world. What about Vera and the freak? You're going to kill them all?
I reckon she's right.
Paddy's dead.
So what are you gonna do? Bring her back to life? You're only Queen Bee, you're not God Almighty. You kill Mackenzie, and it's over for her. But you'll be in here forever. So it doesn't make sense, does it? Nobody wins.
Lizzie, just go away. It's my decision. Just go away. I don't suppose you're going to tell me what this is all about.
Extra duties for insubordination. The PRG have given us a couple of cartons of books. You can unpack them.
Working in the library? It's a pretty cushy job for punishment, isn't it?
You know me, Smith. An old softy. Go on, move.
G'day, Bee.
Well, well, well. So this is it. Finally got the nerve, eh? Get lost.
Bee?
Get out.
Right. Miss Ferguson. Oh, I got
Then go, Quinn.
Yeah, but...
Move it.
So, who goes first? Now, don't be impatient, Mackenzie. I've got all the time in the world. You haven't.
What's wrong? You got the time and the place, but you ran out of guts.
Ferguson's prowling around outside that door, just waiting for us to lay into each other. Whoever's left standing will go up for it.
She's really got you scared, hasn't she?
Oh, yeah. Scared to death. I'll get you, Mackenzie, just count on it. But not until I organise the time and place. I'm buggered if I'm going to do extra time just to satisfy Ferguson.
Do you know what I think, Smith? I think you've left it too late. You've run out of steam. All that's left is hot air.
You just keep thinking that. Can we help you, Miss Ferguson? Maybe you'd like to take out a book?
Here's one for you. Leathercraft for the enthusiast.
What's going on? Quinn seemed rather eager to get out of here.
Oh, well, you know. Two's company, three's a crowd.
She didn't quite fit in.
You don't look too well, Miss Ferguson.
Just get on with the books.
Yes, Miss Ferguson. Now, what was it we were up to, Norma? Hobbies, wasn't it?
Stop, Mackenzie! Oh, Bee, help! I said drop it!
It's coming in here. It was really dumb, wasn't it? Lizzie, watch the door. Maxine, fill up the sink.
I'm doing anything now, Bee. We're missed in the dining room.
So, well, I'm not hungry anyway. Come on, Maxine.
Oh, thinkful!
That's what you found out. How Patty felt. You just kept pushing her head down until the bubbles stopped. Isn't that what she said? Is it?
Oh, you missed your chance, Smith. It's not your lucky day.
Wordsworth?
What are you lot doing in here? Didn't you hear the bell?
We were just going, Mrs. Powell. Coming, Bee?
Well, then get out.
Thanks, Bee.
Get going.
Have you done the corridor around the corner?
Yes, Mrs. Powell.
Well, it doesn't look like it. It'll have to be done again, won't it?
Yes, Mrs. Powell.
You're not here to exercise. The idea is to get them clean. And when you finish that one, I want the corridor outside the kitchen done.
Yes, Mrs. Powell.
Listen, I don't like the tone in your voice.
Yes, Mrs. Powell.
All right, get on with it. I'll be back to check later.
okay? Don't look too crash-hot.
Well, I'm not. I don't want to talk about it.
Why not?
I said I don't want to talk about it.